Hey all. Today is a really quick episode. Just trying to figure out what I want with the queue, and I'm not 100% certain on if this is what I want or not, but it's just to see how it goes because the idea is that I guess the idea is you're going into the mountain or like up against the side of the mountain. I'm not really sure, so it's really hard for me to figure out what I want. And I mean, in the end, I may end up changing all of this that I'm getting ready to do. So, I don't know, but right now I'm just getting the terrain, just a little bit, just to see how some of the tools work. And I think with a bit of finagling, I can make it look like I can make it look like a natural existing mountain formation. And I think I may even try to figure out some way to get perspective mountains behind the coaster. As if maybe the company or whoever this park is, they probably would have altered the mountain behind the ride just to make it look like it's a bit further back in the distance. So I'm guessing this coaster would be off in the corner of the park somewhere, not really in the middle of the park or the main focal point. I don't really have that much to talk about. But mainly there'll be probably 2 or 3 buildings that the queue will be housed in, or like I guess the cattle pens. Like what I'm working on here is the beginning of a cattle pen, trying to figure out how far down I want it to go. Because, I don't want the entrance of the queue to be really low, but then again, that's also what I did in the end result. I made it really low to the ground, and I don't know if I like it or not. I'm still figuring it out. So in another time lapse, the queue may look different, so just a heads up. Because at the same time, I got to figure out where the guests are coming in from and the view they're going to get of the coaster itself. So where I have that entrance path where the guests physically come into the park, I may move that. I don't know yet. Because it all depends on where I want the coaster to be seen from. And like this exit path, I may have the exit path be like a winding natural path back down to the entrance. So no stairs, but just an entirely ADA ramps, but much nicer ADA ramps. ADA, if you didn't know, stands for Americans with Disabilities Act. So yes, there will be an elevator in the station. It'll be over on the exit side, so that way the guests can get up to the station. And the exit path will go down around the back of the station and under the station. So I guess beneath the station will be kind of a gift shop for the ride. Okay, so here's the first cattle pen, and at this point I think I was pretty much set on what I wanted the station to look like, and that'll be in the next episode. So you'll see sort of my inspiration behind that, and I'm gonna use. If any of you have ever been to Dollywood and you've been on Wild Eagle, that's basically I'm gonna copy that exact same architecture for this ride. I like how majestic it looks, and it really fits, I guess, the theme I'm going for, which would be sort of a kind of rustic, but mostly a sort of mountain lodge style looking building. And the majority of the track itself will be, there'll be trees and whatnot, so you won't really see a lot of the ride. Like I said, I may go back in and I may redo this entire queue. Right up to the coaster, I may redo the entire queue, because it all depends on. Again, I may go back in and change how I want stuff to look. I don't know yet. And then right here, I was deciding if I wanted another queue building or not. So while I thought about it, I went ahead and did some more terrain work. Wow, I don't really have much to talk about. In a lot of this terrain work, again, it will change, especially when I get ready to do the custom supporting. I may have a video just entirely me doing terrain work to prepare for the coaster. Okay, and right here, I'm trying to figure out, I'm lowering all this terrain because the current idea is that the queue will go much further down, so as if you're climbing a mountain, basically. But again, I may go back in and change all of that because I don't really know where I want the guests to come from. The game's path system is kind of hard to work with sometimes, especially if you're using a lot of terrain like I am here. It's really just sometimes you just want to you just want to but you just have to work with it, be patient with it, and eventually you'll get what you want. And sometimes you may not get what you want, but trying to get the path to do what you want is just so difficult sometimes. And one idea I have, I may go back in and change it to where that cattle pen is basically the only cattle pen. Because I was doing some testing with the queue with the park open and having guests go in, and they never really filled up the cattle pen because I have 3 trains on the ride, so it's constantly pushing people through. So like right here, that view you have, I may end up making that the entrance. So I don't know yet. I may go back in and delete all this extra path I'm building right now. This here is the start of another building. But like I said, I may go back in and delete this. I don't really know if this is what I want or not. I need to look at some examples of existing rides, because at the same time, I gotta build this to make it look realistic. That's the whole concept behind me taking over this project. To make, the buildings, the structures, everything as realistic as possible. And even as I speak, I have already started building the station building, and if you're on Bro Nation, you've already seen what I've worked on. And I have a lot of the station already built, well, the framing at least. So, that will be kind of a long video. That's why I didn't add it. That's why this video is so short, because I didn't want to add all of that to it. It was going to be probably a 45-minute video, and who wants to sit here for 45 minutes listening to me? So I'm going to have all that as a separate video, and even building the station will be in more than one video, because it's going to take so long to do. Or at least what I have in mind, it's going to take so long to do. And I believe right here is finally where I figured out, okay, I'll just curve the path right here for now until I figure out what I want a plaza to look like. And again, I may go back in and change all of this because I don't know if this is what I want or not. I just did this for now to get an idea of what I could have. Because I guess what I was trying to figure out was, okay, maybe down here is sort of a valley between 2 hills, kind of like in Dollywood. Because when you look at it, that's not that unrealistic. So up there where I'm moving the terrain, I may have the entrance of the park come from up there. So I really don't know. This is kind of hard to figure out. It's hard to figure out how to make it look realistic, how to make it be built realistically. Because again, most parks are working within a budget, and this coaster is built into the terrain. So that's something else I need to figure out too. I really feel that once I finish the station, I'll have a much better idea of how I want the queue to look. Because with Wild Eagle, the main queue is beneath the station. That's the only queue they have. It's all on sort of the basement level of the station, where that's the cattle pen, and then you go up and then you split to either side of the train, whichever side you're going to be put on. And yeah, so that's basically it for this video. And again, all of this may change. I'm not sure yet, so I don't have any cinematics at the end or nothing because I just didn't think to film any. But that's all I have for now, and um, you may see more queue work later on. Well, you definitely will see more queue work later on. But for now, this is all I have. And in the next video, you'll see that I've started building the station. So thank you guys for watching, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.